everybody. Lord Tremendous here. Got another battle report here for you. As you can hear from the intro, it is officially the holiday quarter of the year, and I love this time of year. So, you're gonna get the scary music and stuff like that because it's my channel. I can pretty much do what I want. Yeah. As long as it's not like vulgar or copywritten, yeah, I get to do whatever I want. So you have to suffer through it now. And yeah, if you don't like Halloween, well, you're gonna hate this month from me. Let me tell you. But I got another battle here with the Tomb Kings, 2,500 point battle. Lord Tremendous of the Tomb Kings versus Richard the Bloodsucker of the Vampire Counts. It is not with the Undead Legions rules or anything like that. I know you're going to see a model, that may say otherwise. It's just a proxy. It is not the actual model. So calm down, calm down. This is not Undead Legion rules. This is regular Warhammer rules. Real quick question slash cry for help slash I'm looking for some help here. I need you guys in Austin, Texas, or nearabouts. Are there any clubs or stores or gatherings or anywhere in the area where people get together to play fantasy? Please let me know if your group or if your club or whatever, or if there's a store out there in that area. It's Austin, Texas. I'm sure there's like 6, but I got a buddy who just moved out there. He's an excellent player. He plays multiple armies, real good guy. And he just moved out there recently, and he's looking for a place to game and hang out and stuff like that. So if you've got anything, throw it in the comment section. Hit me up in an email or, in the messages on YouTube. However you can get a hold of me, please let me know. You won't regret it. This guy's real good. He's a real fun guy, real even-tempered. He taught me how to play the game. Or he was one of the guys, anyway, that taught me how to play the game. So please, if you know anybody or you know the area, where to go, let me know so I can get this information to him to not only improve your club, but to help out a fellow gamer. Thanks, guys.
Assemble the army!
Here's my list, and it has changed pretty significantly, I guess, from the last time you guys saw it. I still have my general, my Tomb King, Bone Lord Tremendous. He's got the Sword of Antiheroes, Armor Silvered Steel, and the Dawnstone. So no change there. Then I've got my Lich High Priest, Queen Elizabeth. She's a level 4 wizard, Staff of Sorcery, and the Laura Nekakara. Again, no change there. My hero choices are a Necrotech Dark Vincent with the Dragon Helm. Small change. He doesn't have the Iron Curse icon anymore. And my Lich Priest, Sinister Jeffrey, who's a level 2 wizard with the Dispel Scroll and the Laura Light. My core choices consist of 58 Skeleton Warriors with full command, light armor, and shields. 13 Skeleton Archers with full command. I did lose 1. And a unit of 5 Skeleton Horsemen Archers with a banner. And I took the Archers because I wanted to try Chaff again. I want to try Redirectors. And I gave him a banner for fortitude purposes, no other reason than that. I don't really see the purpose of the musician because it's not like they can march and have to worry about, swift reforming or rallying or anything like that. So the banner just seemed better. Plus, if I do ever charge with them, it's +1 to combat res, which may help. I doubt it. These guys kind of suck. And then I've got my 3 chariots with Banner Musician and the Banner of Eternal Flame. My special choices consist of Chimerian War Sphinx with Fiery Roar. I brought him back because I missed having him on the table, and I wanted to try multiple Toughness 8 guys. I have a unit of 3 Carrion. I had some points after moving stuff around, and I wanted to try Carrion. I liked the idea. You guys made valid arguments for him, so I tried him out. And 3 Sephiral Stalkers, or whatever. Just, 3 Stalkers. I give up on that word. It's too hard. But I have those in there because they're awesome. My rare choice consists of a Necro Sphinx, and I have a proxy model on the table for him. I also have a proxy model on the table for the Carrion, so it's the correct bases, but incorrect models. And the Necro Sphinx, I'm using Archon the Black's model because I have it, and I want to use it. But I put the Necro Sphinx in here because Heroic Killing Blow and Killing Blow are exciting. The reasons that that I haven't been using him before is because he only has 5 attacks, and really that's it. I mean, yeah, I could make him poison, but that kind of defeats the purpose of Killing Blow. Yeah, he got poison, which means 1 less dice I get to throw at Killing Blow, which is really the reason to take the Sphinx, in my opinion, because he's only strength 5. So I don't know. We'll see where I go with that. I have my Hyro Titan, Nad the Protector, a Screaming Skull, Catapult, and my Casket of Souls. I did not get a copy of my opponent's VC army list, so instead here is a shameless plug for my dice, which are for sale for $1. Yay! Here are my spells, and as you can see, thanks to an incredibly generous subscriber, I have cards now, which is awesome. And here's deployment. For the most part, my plan against my opponent here was to use that huge impassable terrain rock in the middle of the table as kind of like a bottleneck. I put the Necrosphinx there at the head because I figured toughness 8. Well, I knew he was going to probably have to send his Terrorgeist down the middle, and so I moved my chariots in such a way where, I was hoping I was going to get to go first, and so my chariots wouldn't have to worry. I could basically fake him out, make him think that if he moved down the middle there, the Terrorgeist would be okay. But the plan was for the chariots to be angled in such a way that I could still see a rather large chunk of my left flank, so that when the Terrorgeist went after my Necrosphinx or whatever, I could possibly charge him in the flank with my chariots, or even the front, and 3d6 strength forward, nonetheless, flaming attacks into this thing with a banner. Hopefully, I could do enough wounds to just blow the thing up right away, right on the charge. Even if it was in the forest, it would be worth it. Obviously, my casket and my Screaming Skull catapult are positioned so that they have optimal range and everything and are well protected. My unit of Skeleton Warriors, Titan, and War Sphinx are right in the middle so that anything he decides to shoot into that little bottleneck between the forest and the impassable terrain are easy pickings. I have the Carrion on the right flank because I gotta be honest, I don't really know what the hell I'm doing with Carrion. In retrospect, I probably should have thrown him over on the left flank, but, well, I'm still kind of noob. And hard to see, but in the top right corner there, I have my unit of skeleton archers, and the idea there is to get in there and harass, harass, harass. I was kind of actually hoping that he would send a unit of spirit hosts within charge range of my archers, and I was going to just charge them, with high ground charge, possibly a flank, and a banner. Just kind of hoping to kill him. That was really the hope. But that was it. That was why I deployed like this. Here's my opponent's right flank, which consists of 3 spirit hosts, a unit of zombies with his vampire lord and a regular little vampire in there, and a banshee. He also has a Terrorgeist right sitting there all happy. And here is his center, which consists of, what's it called? His, what is it? Mortis Engine. Sorry, words are hard. His Corpse Cart, his skeleton, big brick of Skeleton Warriors with Manfred, a unit of, a single model of Spirit Host right next to them, and behind them is another huge unit of Skeleton Warriors with a Necromancer installed. Here's my, for lack of a better way to put it, my right flank, kind of hidden amongst the garbage, is my Skeleton Archers, horsemen no less. They scouted, so And here's my center, which consists of my catapult, my carrion. Those are proxy models, in case you couldn't tell, but they are on 40 mil bases. So, ha! I have my War Sphinx, because I just love that model. I have my Titan, because I love my Titan. I have my Archers with my high and low Lich Priest, because, I love them. And I have my Skeleton Warriors, which I'm only relatively fond of, with Tomb King and Necrotech installed. And here's my left flank, which from right to left consists of my casket, my chariots, and my proxy unit for a Necrosphinx, because that model is awesome and I'm trying to get it into the list. Here's top of 1 after movement, and I didn't get to go first. But as you can see, the angle of the Terrorgeist and stuff like that, I was wrong. I don't know if the chariots can hit or not. It was really going to be close, so that was unfortunate, but next time. It was a bad deployment. But yeah, just like I was hoping, his Spirit Host, his Terrorgeist, his zombies with his Vampire Lord and everything like that, they all bottleneck real nice down the side. I knew he was going to scream at the Necrosphinx. I was hoping he was going to roll low, but I knew he was coming in, and so I was going to go for it. Meanwhile, his Mortis Engine kind of runs behind to try to pulse out that regen save his next turn. His Corpse Cart kind of falls behind, and both of his units of skeletons, they kind of move around a little bit, but they don't come forward as fast as they could, and I don't fully know why, but he did. Other than that was pretty much it. Nothing else happens. Nothing happens in his magic phase. I'm able to shut it down because having that Staff of Sorcery on a level 4 wizard is just a beautiful, beautiful thing. But his Terrorgeist looks at my Necrosphinx, screams his little heart out, and of course puts 4 wounds on him. He's not dead, but he might as well be. Other than that, nothing else happens. So, we go to bottom of 1 after movement. And there's a little bit. My Carrion move up, my Sphinx moves up, my Titan angles slightly, the Skeleton Warriors pretty much stay where they are because I wasn't really sure where I needed them yet. The archers and the liches are right where they're supposed to be. My chariots redirect so that they can deal with the left flank. And my Necrosphinx, knowing that he's going to be dead anyway, charges into the Terrorgeist in the hopes of putting some wounds on that thing so that its scream isn't quite as dangerous. Other than that, what you see is what you get. Oh yeah, and the Skeleton Horsemen archers move up to take pot shots at the Skeleton Warriors because what else are they going to do? There's a better picture of my Necrosphinx slamming into his Terrorgeist in vague hopes of killing the damn thing. During the magic phase, I use Shem's Burning Gaze on his Spirit Host from my Titan and obliterate that little one-man unit of spirits. And that I love Shem's Burning Gaze. I really do. It's a beautiful, beautiful spell. And then over here, I was able to do a few more laser eyes to the, what's it called? The Spirit Host over here. No, it wasn't Spirit. It wasn't laser eyes. It was something else. I can't remember what it was. I did something to him. It wasn't laser eyes, but I think it might have been... No, I remember what it was. I fired the, what's it called? The catapult over here, and I was trying to hit his unit of zombies, just kind of random, and it scattered, and it hit the, what's it called? The Spirit Host, and I was able to put 3 wounds on him, because it's magical and flaming, so that was something at least. I appreciate that. Then over here in combat, Necrosphinx is able to put 1 wound through on the Terrorgeist. I rolled average, I won't lie. He's only strength 5. I hit 3 or 4 times, and while I did hit with the heroic killing blow shot, it just wounded. It didn't obviously heroically killing blow anything. And that was the only wound that went through. The strength 5 didn't do anything. So I did 1 wound to him. He wasn't able to do anything back. I charged. I did a wound to his nothing. The Terrorgeist now has 3 wounds on it. So, yeah, that's where I start thinking. I'm like, you know what? I don't really know what the hell I'm going to use this guy for. Strength 5 kind of sucks on this thing. So, I don't know. I didn't really feel it. And with 4 wounds on it, we all know that, what's going to happen next turn. So, it's like, I don't know what to think. So, while I was still pondering that, we go over here to top of 2 after movement, because it was only fair that I let him take his turn. And his Spirit Hosts are able to charge into the flank of the Necrosphinx, which, that's fine, it was dead anyway. His Skeleton Warriors kind of move around a little bit. One unit reforms to face the archers. The other unit moves up slightly. And other than that, everything that he has is pretty much bottlenecked in my left flank there, which is good. It's good. It actually really slows him down and gives me time to adapt, magic, shoot, all that other good stuff. So it's still kind of working out. The Necrosphinx has been useful, but I think I could have done the exact same thing with Carrion. But, that's just my feels. Over here, there's a better picture of the Spirit Host slamming into the flank of the Necrosphinx, and, well, he was dead anyway. During his magic phase, he gets off Raise the Dead with Manfred and puts up a little unit of, I think it's 8 zombies right here next to my chariots, and that was fine. My chariots had no intention of being there next turn, because if I could charge that damn Terrorgeist, I was going to charge Terrorgeist. Then we go over here into combat, because nothing else happened. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't go into combat. We go into a shooting phase, and the Terrorgeist screams at the Necrosphinx and is able to put the last wound through. I think he rolled like an 11 altogether. It was ridiculous. So it explodes, and that's a shame, but it is what it is. And then during his combat phase, he's able to reform, because it's in the FAQ, it's okay. But the way he reformed, I saw, and I was like, ooh, this gives me an angle to get into his Terrorgeist if I can just slip through the impassable terrain. I didn't measure anything right away because I didn't want to give it out, but then it was my turn at bottom of 2. And the math said we could do it. The measure from chariot to chariot, the space was there between the Spirit Host and the impassable terrain. So we moved them in, and they made the charge, and they slammed into the Terrorgeist, which is awesome because I needed that thing dead. Other than that, the rest of my stuff kind of moves forward towards his skeleton archers. I completely forget to roll to see if my stalkers come onto the table, and I don't even realize it until top of 3. So it's like, oh yeah, I'm an idiot. So everything else just kind of moves around slightly. My archers reform to look at the zombies because I want to try to shoot them and magic them off the table before they run into my casket. And other than that, well, my Carrion move up into the forest to try to pull his Skeleton Warriors forward so that my Sphinx can run into the flank. Maybe even my Skeleton Warriors run into the flank and take care of Manfred and that big old unit of Skeleton Warriors because points are points. And, now that my Sphinx is dead and I've done nothing to him, I kind of need some points. Well, I guess I killed the Spirit Host. But, yeah, that was pretty... Oh, and my archers, my Horseman archers, they moved back because I didn't want to get charged by his unit of Skeleton Warriors yet. Here's a better picture of the traffic jam / charge of the chariots. And, yes, that was awesome that I made that charge. I was very excited about that. Over here in the magic phase, I'm able to see the Spirit Host with my level 2 caster, who fires the big Shem's Burning Gaze at these guys and obliterates 2 of them. Shem's Burning Gaze wins me games solo. I love that spell. Then, just because I was a little nervous about my casket, I let him stop. Well, I don't let him. He stopped a few other spells, and I saved a few dice so I could put a 5-up ward save on my casket because I was really nervous about those zombies getting in there and, just destroying them. So I put a 5-up ward save on them and them solely just because I was worried. Then over here in the shooting phase, my archers shoot at the zombies and are able to kill 2, which was kind of cool, actually. I'm not really used to shooting or anything like that, so the fact that it actually worked and I was able to kill a couple of the zombies, bringing only 6 in, it was kind of nice. Okay, I see why people like shooting now. I get it. Speaking of why I don't like shooting, though, my catapult takes a pot shot at his corpse cart just to get it out of the way. I don't like the idea of it being there, and balefire irritates me. And everything else, I couldn't draw a line of sight to, so yeah, I could have still targeted, but it was going to deviate, and I didn't want to take the chance of blowing up my chariots. So I just fired at the corpse cart, and I misfire 3, so it can't shoot this turn or next. It's a little bit frustrating, but you know what? You got to take the good with the bad. And considering how much butt this thing has kicked for me over the past 3 or 4 games, I'm going to say it's okay. Maybe my skeletons aren't really that good at maintenance and stuff like that because clearly they let this thing down. So I blame the crew. I blame the crew. That's why they don't get any paint right now. In combat over here, my chariots, I do lose 1 chariot in combat, but with the impact hits and the damage and everything like that, believe it or not, with impact hits, I only did 1 wound. And then with regular combat and stuff, I was able to slip 1 more through, and he was able to kill 1 chariot just outright. He did 3 wounds. I did 2 wounds, charging a banner to his 3 wounds. I win by 1, and the Terrorgeist, who only has 1 left, explodes. My chariots, I see an opportunity to slam into his zombie unit and lower it a little bit. Maybe even take a sniper shot at his lord because I have no idea what he's got. They go charging into the forest. It also keeps them there that turn. His zombies and stuff. My chariots were out of position. Their job to take out the Terrorgeist had been accomplished. The Spirit Host were going to get wiped next turn. They only have 1 wound left on him. I was not concerned about the Spirit Host. So the idea here was my chariots slam into the zombies, kill a handful of zombies if they're lucky. I knew the Mortis Engine was going to pulse. I knew the Banshee was going to scream. But, I could always hope. And if there's anything left, I can keep them there for a turn. They're out of position. They're way far away. His leadership, his spells, he's got to throw more dice at them. That was the hope. And, the Mortis Engine staying over there is even better because now not everything's getting the regen saves. It was the hope. It was what I was going for. So I overrun through the forest, and of course slam right into a red oak. I don't know why I'm so good at hitting trees when I'm charging through them, but I am. So only 1 chariot survives long enough to slam into the zombies, but I do make it. Yay. So we go over here to top of 3 after movement, and there's very little. His Spirit Host moved forward a little bit. His zombies charge my casket, and I puckered a little bit there. I won't lie, but I was hoping. And his skeletons back up a little bit, and the Mortis Engine just kind of turns around because at this point I go, oh my god, I forgot to roll to see if my Stalkers came in. And believe it or not, my opponent was like, roll it, see if they come in. I'm like, nope, it's way too late for that. I'm not doing it. I rolled a 1. They didn't come in, so we'll see. So he moves his corpse cart to look in that direction so that if the Stalkers do come in, he could charge them. And that's effing genius as far as I'm concerned. I never would have thought of that, to be perfectly honest with you. But, yep, that was pretty much all the movement he did. Here's a better picture of his zombies slamming into my casket. So I was worried about that. I really didn't want my casket to get pulled down by zombies. But if it happened, it happened. Whatever. During his magic phase, he gets Van Hel's dance off on his Mortis Engine, which I actually just kind of let go. I was like, go ahead. He wanted to get his Mortis Engine closer to my ranks. But the way I saw it is now I have a better target for Shem's Burning Gaze. I would love to blow that thing up over there, near your general, the zombies, that unit of Spirit Host. That'd be great. So when he was like, it's just gonna move him up. Okay, it's all you. So he did, and they moved up, and that I thought really played well into my hands. During his shooting phase, the Banshee screams at the chariot and is able to explode it. So that wasn't a shock. It died a horrible, horrible death. And you know what? It's fine. It got the Terrorgeist dotted away for me, and it only cost me a Necrosphinx and my chariots in order to get rid of a Terrorgeist. Seems like a good deal to me. Over here in the combat phase, honestly, the zombies, the one wound that did get through on my casket, I was able to stop with the 5-up ward, so I was thrilled I got that spell off. And then my guys just decided to tear into the zombies. They hit and wound spectacularly. After all was said and done, 5 of the zombies were gone. There was 1 left, and I felt pretty confident about that. So, really happy with the old Casket of Souls. Really, really happy that I got that thing in the list. So we go over here to bottom of 3 after movement, and I try a feint. I didn't know if it was a good idea or not. Hell, I didn't even know if it was going to work, but it was an idea, so I went with it. My Skeleton Warriors moved forward towards his unit of Skeleton Warriors with Manfred, and the idea here was twofold. One, he needed a 10 to hit me. He was 10 inches away. I'm sorry, he needed a 6 to hit me. Because he was like, no, I think he need like a 7 or an 8 to hit me with his Skeleton Wars with Manfred if he decided to charge. Which I wasn't overly concerned about because I knew I could take Manfred and all those skeletons, and I was desperate for something to try to charge in there so I could just combat res everything he had to death. Because I'm weapon skill 6 to his weapon skill 2. It's a good day. Plus, I have hatred, all the good stuff. So I moved my Skeleton Warriors up 4 solid inches because that's the max I can move them. And I left him there in the hopes that he would move forward. This was a feint maneuver. If he didn't charge me, if he failed to charge me, or if he didn't charge me, that'd be great. Because what I was going to do next is I was going to reform to go after his general and everything like that. Because I had a feeling he was going to move his general, from the left flank towards me, and so I felt pretty good about that. The archers and the titan and the liches are all looking over at my left flank because there's a mortis engine I want to blow up. Couldn't give a crud about the damn spirit hosts. I wanted to fire Shem's Burning Gaze twice at his friggin' unit of his mortis engine and try to blow that thing up. If I can blow that thing up now at the bottom of 3, it's not a threat, it's not dangerous, and it's gone. No more regen, no more of that funky +2 to casting and all that stuff. It would be an excellent time for me to get rid of this stupid thing, and so I decided, yeah, I'm gonna go for that. Other than that, the Carrion stayed over there in the forest, the Archer stayed where they were, and my Stalkers come onto the table, and they went over by the corpse cart because why not? I figured maybe I could Care Bear stare it off the table and take care of it that way, or if it charged me, I could beat it in combat. I felt pretty confident about my Stalkers. During the magic phase, I 6 dice the big Shem's Burning Gaze at his Mortis Engine. The 2d6 strength 6 flaming attacks at his Mortis Engine because it's undead. So it goes off, not irresistible, and I'm able to take this thing out with Shem's Burning Gaze. I love that spell! Yeah, I do all the wounds. All the wounds happen to it, and it explodes. Kaboom. The spirit host die, the zombie dies, the what's it called? The casket did take some hits, but he wasn't able to wound. My skeleton warriors took some hits, but I don't remember if he wasn't able to wound or if he only wounded a couple of times. I don't remember exactly how it all worked out, but I think he kills 2, and it doesn't really matter. But yeah, that happens, and then his zombies, he loses a handful of zombies, like 2 or 3. Not a huge big deal, but that was amazingly important that happened. So I was very happy there. And then over here, I get the protection spell, the 5 aboard save off of my skeleton warriors, and put the 2 skeleton warriors back that he killed with his blowing up mortis engine. So my unit is full strength with a 5 upward save. I'm ready for action. So I'm very excited about how this is going. Then in the shooting phase, I'm able to slip 3 wounds through on his corpse cart with the stalkers. Not a bad roll, actually. I was very happy with my roll. I had, I think, 16 to 18 hits on him, and I was able to roll like 6 6s. It was like, oh, okay, my dice are on fire. Outstanding. So 3 wounds get through after his regens, which is exactly how many should have gotten through. And so this thing's on its last leg, and things are looking up. So I know it's going to charge into my stalkers next turn. I know it's going to do whatever impact hits it is, but I was confident in my stalker's ability to take this thing out. So here we are in top of 4 after movement, and just as I had hoped, his general's unit with the zombies come barreling around the left flank there. His unit of skeleton warriors do not charge, they hold back. The other unit of skeleton warriors stay exactly where they are, and his corpse cart charges my stalker, and that was perfectly fine. That's what I was going for. Here's a better picture of his corpse cart slamming into my stalkers. Not great, but not terrible. Nothing happens in his magic phase or his shooting phase, so we go into combat, and oh my god, I underestimated the corpse cart. It beat the crap out of my stalkers. It was able to do, I think, 2 wounds, 2 or 3 wounds, or something crazy like that. And then he charged. Every wound I did to him, which was only like 2 or 3, I didn't roll very well. I rolled average. I shouldn't say I didn't roll very well. I rolled average. But I was only able to do 2 or 3 wounds to it, and he made all of his regen saves. You know, they're not flaming or anything like that, but he made all of his saves. I needed him to fail one, and this thing would have exploded. But no, it didn't explode. And yeah, that was bad. So I lose a stalker. There's 1 carry and 2 wounds, but we don't go anywhere. So it's like, ooh, I underestimated my opponent's unit. My mistake. So we come over here to bottom of 4 after movement. And here's where I make my move. The skeleton warriors swift reform towards his zombies, which are making their move towards my casket. The idea here is countercharge. Yeah, you're going to get my casket, but it's going to blow up, hopefully do a bunch of damage to you. And with a little luck, I'll be able to kill your general, your vampire, your banshee, your zombies, and then I can send in the rest of the gang to hopefully take out the skeleton warriors, Manfred, and the big unit of skeleton warriors, or, you know, thereabouts. I moved the War Sphinx up and the Carrion up so that his Skeleton Warriors will have a more difficult time wheeling and doing whatever it is they want to do, or if they decide to try to charge my Skeleton Warriors in the rear/flank or whatever. Not that I was overly worried about him making that charge, but just in case, it was supposed to be a deterrent. And my Titan moves in front of the archers just simply because I don't want those zombies making a crazy, you know, long-distance charge, slamming into my archers and pulping both of my liches with combat res. During the magic phase, I get Shem's Burning Gaze off on his zombie unit, and I do significant damage. I think I kill about 6 of these things, which is good, because everyone is dead is 1 less combat res I have to go through, so I like that. And then during shooting, I try shooting at the zombies with my catapult, and I misfire 5. Yeah, not really sure what's going on with my catapult this game. I guess all that karma from my previous games, where it was just constantly hit, 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 is has gone 180 on me, and is now misfire, misfire, misfire. But it's not exploding, so I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm not going to complain too much. Then over here in combat, these guys just decide, the stalkers and the corpse cart just decide, you know what? I'd rather talk about the sound of a fart than break any more of your bones. And they both agreed, and so they spent a turn discussing the philosophy of farts, which was kind of irritating. So, with the philosophy over with, we go over here to top of 5 after movement, and it's starting to get a little desperate. His skeleton warriors take the bait, go after the carrion, and make it, and that's fine. If the carrion survive to kill even 1 skeleton, they've done their job. His unit of zombies, or I'm sorry, his banshee and his vampire, not his vampire lord, but a little vampire in his unit of zombies, charge out of the unit to go after my casket. I was fine with that, I gotta be perfectly honest with you, because when the casket explodes, I was probably going to get 1 out of the 2, because you gotta roll a 4 up. Both of those guys are going to be right there, so they're going to take D6 strength 6 shots each. I was fine with that. I was perfectly fine with that. The casket had done its job. It was top of 5. I really didn't need my magic dice anymore. And then his zombies with his vampire lord moved right in front of my skeleton warriors, with my Tomb King and everything. So I was like, okay, all right. So you want me to charge him? I'm going to charge him. Other than that, his other unit of skeleton warriors just kind of flipped forward and looked down at the carrion fight that was going on, and that was about it. Here's a better picture of his banshee and his vampires, his little baby vampire, slamming into my corpse or my casket of souls, which is fine. I know I'm gonna lose it, but he's gonna lose, if not one, both of his characters. So I was kind of like, it seems fair-ish. And here's a better picture of his Skeleton Wars with Manfred slamming into my Carrion, and yeah, my Carrion are screwed. But that's their job. They're bait redirector type things. I like them. I do. During his magic phase, I stopped a couple other spells. I think like Curse of Years and Winds of Undeath and stuff like that. He was trying to fire through, so he was able to get an invocation off or two on his zombie unit and build it back up, which is fine. And then during the combat phase, of course, he's able to blow up my casket, and my casket returns the favor and blows up a bunch of stuff. His Banshee ends up getting killed. 3 or 4 of my archers get killed. I think I lose 1 skeleton, and he loses 3 zombies. So, not bad. Not bad, really. I think I might even put a wound on the Titan. I can't remember exactly. But not bad. Not bad. I got a character. He got my casket. And 3 zombies died from his resurrected friends. So, it could have gone better, but it could have gone worse. So, I'm okay. Over here in combat, the Carrion actually survive long enough to attack. I kill a unit champion in this unit and 1 other skeleton warrior, and of course, with combat res and just the raw murder that they all did to him, the Carrion explode, and that's sad. Then over here in combat, the corpse cart is able to slip a wound through and kill a stalker. He wins by 1. I'm an arcane construct, and life goes on. Well, unlife goes on. So, we go over here to bottom of 5 after movement, and I say, screw subtlety, I'm going in. My Skeleton Warriors slam into his zombies with Vampire Lord, because it's time for him to go back in the dirt. My Skeleton Archers moved, just kind of reformed slightly to face the Vampire, who tried to overrun after the casket blew up, ran 4 inches, and stayed on the table, if you can believe it. So, that was pretty cool. So I move my Titan over to look at the Vampire, and I move all my casters and my archers to look at the Vampire. If he survives this round, it's because the Dark Gods themselves have decided he is supposed to survive. Other than that, my Sphinx charges into the front of the Skeleton Warriors because I want to see how he does. It's the first game I've had him back in a while. I want to see how he does. So he's going to go in there and he's going to test himself. If Manfred comes over or whatever, so be it. I'm going to fight. And the Stalker stays where he's at because he's comfortable there. And the archers, my horsemen archers, move up to harass the Skeleton Warriors because, I don't know, why not, right? Here's a better picture of the Skeleton Warriors slamming into his zombies and Vampire Lord, which I was looking forward to. And here's a picture of the kitty slamming into the Skeleton Warriors. And I was looking forward to that because I really wanted to try the little template attack that he can do because it was... The what's it called? The skeletons are only web skill 2. He's web skill 4, I think, 3 or 4. Either way, he needs 3. So I have like a 2/3 chance of actually hitting with this thing and seeing if that damn thunder attack thing is really good. So I was looking forward to this. During the magic phase, my Titan takes gives his vampire to Stink Eye with Sham's Burning Gaze and blows him right off the table. It's a glorious thing. So vampire's dead. That's good. And then over here, I try to fire a stone into the unengaged unit of Skeleton Warriors, and I misfire 3. I can't shoot for the rest of the game, basically. It's like, what the piss? So, yeah, misfired 3 times in 1 game, and what can you do? It is what it is. But, alright, hopefully all the bad karma is wrung out of it now. But in the shooting phase, the archers were able to plink 2 of the Skeleton Warriors in that little unit, so that was something, I guess. I'll take it. Over here in combat, skeletons versus zombies, it's not even much of a combo. My Tomb King ran over, issued a challenge. I think his Vampire Lord accepted. I wasn't able to kill him. He wasn't able to kill me. But I was able to kill like 8 or 9 of his zombie guys, plus charge, plus 3 ranks, plus a banner to his 1 wound, and I think that was it. So yeah, we're talking like 12 or 13 combat res, and he had about 10 or 11 wounds left in that unit. So there goes his general, there goes the zombies, and I've won. Life is good. I do reform these guys to face the middle of the table. Then over here, my kitty does not do it. Manfred does not make way. He stays the hell away from this combat. My kitty goes and just goes crazy. The four guys on top, they attack, and they're able to kill a decent amount of skeletons. I think two or three. The kitty, I try to hit with the template, and I roll a two. It's like, ah. So the kitty blows off his breath weapon and his thunder stomps, and is still able to kill a significant amount of skeletons. After crumbles and everything like that, you're looking at what's left. So 10, 15 skeletons died on the charge. So I felt pretty good about that. It was nice. Then over here in combat, he slips another wound through, and I lose by one again. So awesome. My poor stalkers. I really, really misjudged the corpse cart. I am wounding the corpse cart, if you're wondering. I am actually wounding it every once in a while. It's just unfortunately he's making his regen saves, and it's poop. But he's rolling good, and it's the only place that, unfortunately, for my opponent that he's rolling good. His dice have really turned on him this game, so I cannot fault him for killing off one of my favorite units. So at the end of the combat phase, we do the crumble checks and stuff like that, and it's not overly impressive. The corpse cart dies, which is the only thing that saves the stalker. A handful of skeletons die in the unit I'm in combat with, and the other unit that's behind me, I think, takes one or two wounds. It's not significant. He actually rolls pretty low. So we go over here to top of 6 after movement, and it's not overly that big of a deal. I go in. My skeleton warriors charge into his skeleton warriors. My higher titan and my archers and everybody just kind of move up, trying to finish this off quick, fast, and in a hurry. There's a better picture of my skeleton warriors slamming into his skeleton warriors, and hopefully their superior weapon skill and hatred carry him through this. Turn of magic phase, I lower their strength and toughness by 2 with that desiccation thing or whatever, and that was kind of nice. And then I do the big +1 attack on that unit, on my unit of skeleton warriors, and that was really nice too. I think it was everything within 24 inches. I did the big one. I threw a lot of dice at it, and it all goes off, so that was cool. Unfortunately for me, it was a miscast. It was a miscast 7.
You must not read from the book!
Which in the end ended up killing off three archers, which I was perfectly fine with because, things happen. But it ends my magic phase, and that was fine too. I was done casting anyway. Then over here in combat, we butcher a ton of skeletons, just a metric ton of these skeletons. And they pretty much obliterate. Yep, there you go. There's nothing left. And that's where we stand after all is said and done. So we go over here to bottom of 6 after movement, and I gotta be honest with you, I have no idea why his skeleton warriors are facing my skeleton warriors in this picture. Maybe it was an accident, maybe he picked up the wrong unit. I don't know what happened here. But yeah, his skeleton warriors are now facing my skeleton warriors at bottom of 6, and I have no idea. I have no idea. But it doesn't overly matter much anyway, because at this point, my opponent just kind of looks at it, I look at it, and we're like, you know what? Don't even worry about it. There's the end of the game. We just kind of call it. I moved in all my stuff just because it was like, what would you have done in turn 7? I would have moved everything up. And so I pushed all the stuff together. It was just kind of funny. But yeah, there it is. There's the end of the game. And as you can see, it went pretty well for the Tomb Kings. I did lose some stuff. My opponent lost some stuff. But in the end, he ended up losing more than me. And that was mainly because of crumble checks. And just his dice were really rolling bad for him. Those little blue dice over there, yeah, they were angry with him. Very, very angry with him. Almost as angry as my scatter die, or my artillery dice seem to be with me. So, it is what it is. But, yep, we'll get to the recap in just a second, because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Banners, banners, banners. Get you some banners. Look at the banners. You are never going to be able to get better banners than this. There is no company, there is no talent scout, there is no entity on the planet that's going to get you banners better than this. Custom banners for your custom army. You want better paint scores. You want that little edge that makes your army better than the guy next to you. Sick of running, going to tournaments and getting that paint score that's just a few points lower than the guy that literally sneezes on his army. And you can't figure out why? Get these banners and make your army really pop, really stand out. Send this guy an email, tell him what you want, and get yourself some banners. It's totally worth it. and Unleashed Wargaming's painting services is back, guys. I took it down for a little bit while I redid the ad and added some of his newer pictures, but as you can see, he does amazing work. He's based out of the US. He does solid, quality work to all armies. I mean, you saw the pictures, you've seen the quality, you've seen the vibrant colors and the attention to detail and everything. I mean, that banner is free-handed. I mean, how are you not going to like something like that? So if you're like me and you hate painting, but you don't have an awesome wife to do all your painting for you, give this guy an email, talk to him about what you need, and he's going to knock it out for you. You're not going to be disappointed. You're not going to be embarrassed when you play your army at, your local store, at GT's, or local GT's at your store, or however the heck you want to play. You'll have a painted army. It's going to be a beautifully painted army to your specifications. How can you go wrong? Send him an email, get your army painted, and quit embarrassing yourself. Tell him Tremendous sent you. All right, guys and gals, there it is. Token Gal is back, and she's back in full operation mode of making tokens. So if you missed out before she went and got married and became Mrs. Token Gal, or however that works, this is your chance. Get your tokens now. Send her an email. Send her your monies. Get yourself some tokens. They're dirt cheap, solid gold quality. You're not going to be disappointed. Tell her Tremendous sent you. She'll probably know. But yeah, get these tokens. They're so much better than just using dice. They're so much easier to remember everything. You don't have to worry about your cards getting lost, stolen, ripped, torn, whatever. And, they're glass beads, cool high def pictures. Totally worth it. Get yourself some tokens. You won't regret it. But yeah, guys, in the end, it was a victory for Lord Tremendous. I ended up losing my chariots, my carrion, my necrosphinx, my casket of souls. My vampire account opponent lost pretty much everything except for a unit of skeleton warriors, which, I didn't table them at least. There's small victories, right? My dispelling was on point. My poor opponent couldn't get off any of his spells pretty much the entire game. He got a handful off, and that was more or less when I was just like, yeah, you got it, go for it. I love the way the Tomb Kings can dominate the magic phase. I really do. The Staff of Sorcery is really nice, but, in the actual, when I'm generating power dice, 2d6 plus a d3 plus I channel 2. It's pretty much guaranteed I'm going to have 8 plus dice, even rolling poorly. I really like it. My Necrosphinx, his first game out was very meh. I'm not real sure about him yet. I've heard a lot of good things. I just haven't seen any good things. We'll see. We'll see. I've still got some games going on with him. I actually ended up playing 3 games this day with him, so we'll see. But I'm kind of disenfranchised with him currently. However, that being said, his older, wiser, better-looking brother, the War Sphinx, holy God, is he awesome! I wish I could. I wish I could have had him with the, or I wish I could have hit with the damn template attack. That would have been awesome, but unfortunately, I never was able to. I tried. I tried in both combats, and I rolled a 1 and a 2. It was like ah! But you know what? You can't have your cake and eat it too all the time. So I'm not complaining. The Carrion did awesome, and I'm thinking about running 2. I'm not really sure. The Carrion weren't terrible. I really kind of liked them. Gave me the disposable unit I really needed, but I wasn't 100% with them yet. I do see their usefulness, though. I do see how I could use them. Much, much easier to use them than it is those stupid skeleton archers, which I can't figure them out. It's like trying to figure out origami by disassembling, one of those little swan paper things. I can't do it. It's beyond me. But I'm really enjoying the synergy with the TK, and when it all comes together, it feels really good. Granted, it's a fragile thing, but when you got it all going your way, it's kind of nice. But I can't take all credit. I am not a tactical genius, as anybody who's watched 3 or more of my battle reports can attest. My opponent's dice were awful this game. Just awful. He tried to 6 dice a spell, rolled 1 5 and 5 1s, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. His dice rolls, with the exception of regen saves for his corpse cart, were extraordinarily bad. So that always helps to win a game too, when your opponent's dice don't have any higher than a 1 on them. But you know what? He was a hell of an opponent. It was a hell of a game. He was a real good sport about it, as always. This guy's always a joy to play against. And so, as always, I'm really looking forward to our rematch. And our rematch will possibly even be with the Undead Legion rules, so stay tuned. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this battle report number 158. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below, and I will get back to you as quick as I can. And please, if you've listened this far, thank you very much. But please, 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 if you're in Austin, Texas, and you have a gaming group that's looking for a really good player, a really skilled player, a really fun player, let me know. Let me know so I can give this guy your information so that you guys can hook up and improve your gaming group and give my buddy a place to play. He's got all the talent, all the models, and no venue. I need the venue for my buddy. So please, if you can hook him up, I'll send you some tremendous dice for free. Just get that information to me, and I'd really appreciate it. Through an email, on the comment section, in a message. I don't care. Just Google Plus, however you can do it. Just please do it. But yeah, I'm gonna stop babbling now. Thanks.